Hello and welcome to another episode of the NBA 2K podcast. I am your host, Rib, and it is 5:30 in the morning when I'm recording this podcast. I am super exhausted, but I just wanted to say what I've been up to and why there's been a few days without a podcast. Of course, some of you may or may not know, I have been streaming NBA 2K25 all day and night and morning. And so this podcast is mainly first impressions podcast for me. So when I got on, first thing to do was to, of course, lab, make a build, see what's good, see what you want to do, test it out. I gotta say, it took a few hours. I don't like to copy other people's builds. I like to make a build that fits to my needs and my strengths and my weaknesses. And I made a 6-3 to start. And I made a 6-2 as well at some point. I made a 6-1. I was just trying all of them. I think the 6-2 is the sweet spot. And this is probably something that might be better to go into a YouTube video about, because I can put video and show things. But if anybody is interested in watching my streams, there are 2 5 to 6 hour streams that should be on Twitch. I'll post my Twitch channel in the description if you guys want to look at that. So first few hours making my build. And then guess what happens? Scotty Barnes, who you already know if you've watched or if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that I played Pro-Am with him in 2K25, in 2K24. He hit me up. He put me in the voice chat. I screen shared 25 with him because he had a code, but he couldn't play. There were other Raptors rookies there as well. Really cool experience. It was really fun trying to help them make their build. And, it would have been cool if they got into the game, but I think it took them a while to get to the game, so they weren't able to play yesterday. So I started off. I went to my court a little bit. I upped the difficulty on everything, on the shooting. High risk, high reward shooting, Hall of Fame, my career games. Very tough, especially with no badges, being low overall. It took about 180k VC to get to 85 overall, so you can assume the price for a 99 build is about the same as last year. 300 and something, 400 and something KVC in total to make one build. The cap breakers, as we know now, are tied to Starter 3, Veteran 2, and Legend 1. So Starter 3, kind of, I wouldn't say early on, but probably the most obtainable for most people. It also does depend on how fast one person can get rep. As of me recording this podcast, there are already rookie 3s, maybe starter 1s playing, so it doesn't take too long to get to starter 3 at least, or starter 1, I guess. Very exhausting last 48 hours. It's been kind of a whirlwind. I've been doing a lot of playing, a lot of labbing. What do I think about the game? It feels heavy. That's one thing that it feels very heavy. The movement, the dribbling, the shooting. It's going to take some adjusting until it doesn't feel heavy. Of course, that feeling of animations having weight to them, it's a good thing. I don't see it as a bad thing, but definitely something that's going to take getting used to, especially if you played last year. Hey 2K community, are you a competitive player who likes money? Prove it on Gamer Saloon, the ultimate arena for NBA 2K players. Whether you're a pro or just starting out, Gamer Saloon lets you challenge players from around the world and win real cash prizes. So no more playing 1v1s to brag about it. Now you can get paid for winning. Gamer Saloon offers a seamless platform with various tournaments and head-to-head matches, perfect for every level of player. Listeners of the NBA 2K podcast can sign up today at gamersaloon.com/ribpodcast. All one word, gamersaloon.com/ribpodcast. Link in the description. What else? I wasn't able to play Proving Grounds or Pro-Am because there was not enough people in the closed early tip-off that I was able to, to get a hold of to play 2K25. And so I have nothing to say about that. I played my career and I played some park games. Park games, my build is not very good for park. But there were some few. There was a few good moments. Won a few games, lost more than I won, but that is it was expected because my build is not for park. My build is for Pro-Am for fives, and unfortunately, park is all that people were playing. So that's what I played. My career, I played to my career when there was not enough people playing park anymore. My career in Hall of Fame is very tough, especially with no badges, especially with the low overall build. But very fun. The games felt fun. The AI definitely felt different. The AI didn't seem so dead. They moved around a lot. The good players were doing good player things. They were taking over games. The AI seems to be a little smarter. I'll say that. And so that was fun. How many error codes did I have today? I had one. I had one error code happen while I was playing park. Those are expected, I think. There was one update as well. There was one update that required me to go to the main menu. Don't forget to do your stamina by going to the Gatorade area, which is at the beach. I know a lot of people that are listening to this podcast are just now playing 2K or are about to play 2K very soon because of the early tip-off that everybody else gets from pre-ordering is sometime today, depending on your region, 8 a.m. Eastern. So, defense feels very strong, and I'll explain a little bit. My current point guard that I use in the park games has a 60 steal that goes up to a 79, but it's a 60 right now. I was able to get lane steals that I was not able to get ever before with this build, with a steal this low. What would happen last year if you played it is you would make a read to grab a steal and it would be like a tip and it would go off. It would go out of bounds or they would get it back, whatever. This year, those tips feel stronger for the defender because they don't go out of bounds. You actually steal the ball. If you make the right read, you're going to get more steals and you're going to be rewarded for that. And I think that is in general a good thing. Defense being rewarded, making good reads being rewarded, anticipating passes and knowing where the ball is going to go. It's not going to feel like the game is trying to cheat you, I guess, not allowing you to grab steals. Even with a half-decent rating, 60 is not very high. Of course, this was park. In Pro-Am or Proving Grounds, you're probably going to need like a 70-something or 80-something to be able to do this. But yeah, something I noticed. Defense feels really good, at least for passing lane steals. And I think that's about... Oh, Tracy McGrady, Patty Mills. I'm sure there's other animations I can't think of right now. They're locked behind rep. You cannot get Tracy McGrady or Patty Mills as soon as the game starts. So that's also something to consider. I think that's about it. Honestly, a lot of the cool things that happen in the game it might be better if you just watch the streams if you're interested at all. I'll make sure that the streams are available on Twitch. And like I said, I'll post a link to my Twitch in the description. Yeah, so that's it for this one. It's a very short one because I'm super exhausted, but I wanted to kind of recap the last 24 to 48 hours. Things have been very hectic. So, yeah. Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next one.